Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Gold Anime Nut here. I am now playing the new COD killer, the new Halo killer. I'm joking. This is an old Activision game that was asked to be made by the History Channel back in 2006, called Civil War: A Nation Divided. I remember playing this old gem on my Xbox, the 360, of course, and I decided to look around the internet, see if I can't get it installed on my PC, and yeah, I'm gonna make a video on it.
Christmas approaches, yet nothing could be less festive than the dreary weather towards the end of 1862. Displeased with the inactivity of McClellan, Lincoln directs Union General Burnside to go on the offensive and attack Richmond. Union guns shell Fredericksburg, setting the town on fire. The Union Army crosses the river and loots the city. Lee now has 75,000 men on the heights overlooking the burning city. Lee can't believe the Union would dare attack his well-fortified positions, but he misjudges Burnside's recklessness. The order is given. Burnside orders his men to attack Lee's two fronts.
Oh, something to mention before we load in. I forgot to install a certain program that you need to run this game. So this happened. I believe it was DirectX that I needed to install, or something along that line. That's what happens if you don't install that. Something to note is that I alt tab it at this point, and it kind of broke with the game. Uh, yeah. Don't alt tab when you're playing this game. It messes up with like the cutscenes and audio.
Don't forget me.
And with that, we're thrown straight into the game essentially. Uh, doesn't know. Don't tab out of this game. You will mess up quite a lot. Anyways, actually in the game, yeah, that cutscene to gameplay is like, beautiful, chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. This could win a game of a year. Anyways, but in all honesty, it's pretty good. You know, graphics ain't there. A lot of things ain't there actually, but you can really tell that this is an old Activision game before they got a little wacky with their games, like Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare, like 2019. This is when they still kind of like grounded themselves in reality-ish. But how's the actual gameplay? How does it feel? Well, not too bad actually, in my opinion. There's a few things that really make this game feel old. Firstly, the fact that you have to shoot all the bullets in your gun in order to reload. At least, that's what I noticed. I couldn't really hit like R to reload my gun. I don't know if it's like another button, but I noticed that if I want to reload my weapon, I kind of had to shoot all the bullets. Something else to note is that at least for like the beginning levels, it's kind of linear. There's not much to like be exploring. I know look at some of the other missions, you could like wander off and grab like a new weapon. Kind of like how in War of War, there's kind of those like little hidden places where you can pick up like a cool gun if you're like searching around and stuff. There's also that in like this game where there's little like crevices that you can check to get like a unique weapon or some grenades and health. And speaking about the health, you can see that in the little left right corner we have 4 stars to represent our health, which I believe is pretty common in these like old like Call of Duty Activision games. Even though this one doesn't share like the name, it's still made by Activision, so you could tell like the HUD shares some similarities to the COD 1, 2, and 3 of the era. But yeah, despite this game's graphics being less than stellar, the gameplay is actually not that bad. The AI is actually pretty interesting. As you just saw right there, that guy tried to like dodge or like weave right in front of me, which is pretty impressive for an old game to include like that type of animation and stuff. Usually the enemies just stand still and just let you shoot them, but when they charge at you, they start like dodging. It's actually kind of nice. And something else to know is the reload animation on some of these guns. Uh, they kind of take a really long time, but they're also really well done. Especially like the Springfield, as you see here. Quite nice. Something to note is for some reason during this part when I took way too much damage and I would turn, it'll just go black. That didn't happen on my end, that only happened on the capturing side of OBS, so I wonder how that happened. But again, this is an old game. I would expect to find glitches and such. It's only when I took like a massive amount of damage when it started like turning that black screen happened. I guess OBS couldn't capture like the kind of like shaky that happens when you take damage, like right here. But yeah, at least for some of these earlier missions, as I was saying earlier, they're pretty linear. Just, you know, take out like a nest, kill some people, and make it to the end. As you progress through the game though, they do ask for some more wackier things for you to do, like, I believe in one of the missions, I don't know if it's the Confederates or the Union, you have to like rig a wagon to explode and like push it into a group of soldiers. But yeah, at the very beginning it's just some simple boots on the ground, just do your missions and move in. Type gameplay. And yeah, you can interact with like most things in this game, like the cannons and the Gatling guns. But can't really go inside. Again, very limited. They obviously point to where you want to go, where they want you to go. And not really like much to explore. Anyways, after rigging up this little barricade to explode, we can now move on to the next section. Again, these missions are pretty short. They're not that long. And they're not really like filled with that very difficult enemies, you know? Something that I do want to know is that the voice acting is actually pretty good in this game. But that goes for most CODs. The voice acting is very nice. And the graphics, they're serviceable, you know. I feel as though it's like compare a game like this to like its modern successors, such as Call of Duty 2019 and like Black Ops 2. I feel like it's kind of rude to like compare the graphics, you know. And the melee is actually pretty nice in this game. I like taking out the sword and just like stabbing these Confederate soldiers to death. Quite nice. I just don't like how long it takes to reload some of these weapons. Like the musket takes like a whole 3 business days just to reload it. And yeah, you'll find yourself without like any allies usually when fighting like the enemy. I don't know if the game just removes them or if they just die like really easily, like right there. Like those 2 Union soldiers just insta died like once I got over here. So yeah, we're just going around clearing out like these cannon nests so we can make it to the Confederate camp. I don't know yet if I want to like switch between like Confederate or like Union to Confederate, or just like one playthrough of Union, one playthrough of Confederates. I think I'll do it like that. But yeah, obviously I'll be doing like the Union quest first. And there is some like unique like type of stuff in like these like missions, like right here. Like these Confederate soldiers are throwing down explosive barrels, and they end up blowing themselves up. It's a very nice little detail. Like you can shoot them, but if you give them enough time, eventually one of your Union allies will just get really close and cause like the barrel to explode right in front of their face. pretty funny actually. Right here, I did get pretty low. Like I got down to like 1 star, so I try to like sniping these guys away. But again, this game isn't hard, so you like there's like in these early missions you can find like a med kit like every like 2 steps. It really isn't that difficult. But there are like enemies outside of like the playable area. Like you can't reach those guys. You have to shoot them from a distance if you want to kill them. But they can jump into like the playable area. It's pretty neat. It really makes you feel like kind of like it's in like a little actual war zone. Like there's enemies like fighting off in the distance. They'll come and aid their allies once you're like pushing to a new objective. And right here is essentially the last mission. Just reach it to like the flag and pull it down, which is usually how these missions end, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, you could really tell like OBS has like a hard time capturing this game. It just goes black when I start turning and taking damage. Sorry about that, but I just barely noticed that now. Anyways, we take out the revolver rifle. Screen goes completely black again. This only happens when I take like a lot of damage, like one of those Gatling guns starts shooting at me. So if you're wondering what's happening, it's probably because I'm rushing like straight into a Gatling gun. Which, by the way, you can just run into a Gatling gun, you will not die. Like unless you're playing on hard mode, you can just run like straight into a Gatling gun. They don't do enough damage, but if you get on a Gatling gun, you could essentially one-shot most enemies. But yeah. All we have to do is kill like these 2. It's like 2 to 4 like enemies right around the flag, and the mission ends. And that was essentially the first mission of the Union. I really hope you enjoyed this game. I don't know what I'll be commentating like in my other episodes. I'll probably comment like more on like the gameplay and like the actual assignments that were given during the mission. But yeah, I hope you like this little overview. I'll be making a few episodes on this game, and I'll just leave you off with the ending credits of the mission.
In the south, the enemy line is broken, but J. Early's division saves the day for the Confederacy, and the Union Army is repulsed. In the north, brigade after brigade attacks Mary's Heights, the bluffs overlooking the looted city. 14 assaults are beaten back before Burnside realizes his folly. That night, the temperature drops below freezing. Survivors build shelters with the bodies of the dead. They are encamped there all night and the rest of the next day before they are ordered to withdraw. Openly weeping, Burnside wants to personally lead a new charge, but his officers talk him out of it. The slaughter is horrendous. The Union loses 12,600 men, the South 5,300. Lee remarks, "Fortunately, war is so horrible. Otherwise, we could fall in love with it." The survivors finally limp back across the Rappahannock. What had the great sacrifice and lives accomplished? No one could say.